Hello my fellow chairs and welcome to the wonderful world of EU5. Today we are going to be taking the nation of Sukhothai in Indochina, forming the Kingdom of Siam, while also becoming, hopefully, a great power. Now before we start this video, I do just want to quickly give quick thanks and a shout out for today's sponsor, which is Paradox Interactive themselves. Thank you very much, Paradox, for giving me early access to this game. Very much appreciate it, and I very much enjoy this game. With all that being said, let's get into it as Sukhothai. First thing that you are always going to be greeted with, no matter what nation you play as, is the historical context and the agenda. Historical context gives you all the information that you need to know about what has happened up until this point about your country. In our case, because we are playing as Sukhothai, we are right after the Thai invasion of Indochina. As part of this, you also get what's known as the relevant hints, essentially telling you what you need to do in order to get your country kick-started at the start here, and it also just kind of gives you some good advice. So if we were to click on this, it's going to pop open a little box. It's going to tell you everything that you need to know about that specific issue and how you can resolve that. This country has a very old ruler. He's 71 years old. He's honestly not the best. He's 41 admin, 49 diplo, and 38 mil.
Still got it.
Now, a lot of these abilities affect the way that our country is governed. We have things like crown power, which of course is affected by our administrative ability, and it makes things easier to hire people, makes buildings cheaper. Diplomatic ability makes it easier to either ally nations or work within the estates in your country, and military ability, well, I feel like that's pretty straightforward. So as I briefly touched on there, we do have estates in EU5, and each one of them has competing influence with you and each other. We, the player, are represented by the crown, and we have 24% crown power. Meanwhile, our nobility, which is our most influential estate, has 45% crown power, and there's a little bit under 1,700 of them. There's also clergy, burghers, and our commoners, which are by far our largest estate, but they are not that influential, those poor guys.
Help! Help! I'm being repressed!
In order to do a lot of things in this game, you have to rely on your parliament in order to get casus belli, in order to raise taxes, get bigger armies, change your laws. And you could do a parliament every 5 years. And I highly recommend you're constantly doing that parliament because it's just going to make things easier. You also have your cabinet, which these are your advisors. And of course, we are going to hire these bad boys right away. Like Chaichan Bonsi over here. He's only 32 years old, and this guy's pretty darn good. Now we are going to quickly look at our economy over here. We are making 25 base tax as the nation of Sukhothai. Base tax has replaced your total income essentially in the game. This is, I would say, is like your tax along with your production if you were to compare it to like EU4. And so overall, between our income and our expenses, we are only making about 6 ducats. So in order to kind of remedy this, we're going to raise up this slider for minting. We're going to print a little bit more money until we start getting a bit of inflation. So right there seems to be the sweet spot. For all of our estates, I like to click on these little cogs. These are going to automate the taxes and adjust them all the time for all your estates. So then that way it keeps them loyal over that 50% mark. Once they go below 50%, they get a little bit upset and maybe they won't pay as much in terms of taxes.
Taxes!
On this side, you do have all the additional expenditures such as army maintenance, naval maintenance, fort maintenance, and a couple new things such as the cost of the court, which is essentially your legitimacy that you could put into the game. So we are currently at 76 legitimacy overall. Stability, well, it's no longer a mana point. It's all of a sudden now this little percentage here. And it's super important to have really high stability because then all of a sudden you could take away privileges from your estates, giving you more crown power. And also whenever you declare war, you typically lose stability. You also want high stability because all of a sudden now your population, that's right, you have population in EU5, can be promoted at a much higher rate. Some of the other things that we have to deal with, obviously our populations have needs. I have needs too, but one of them is not needing to deal with you right now, Pops. Unmarried king, yes, our ruler, he is 71 years old, but it'd be a good idea to marry somebody like Pena over here. They're a pretty strong nation. Technology has completely replaced both, obviously, technology from EU4 and ideas from EU4. And what I mean by that, if we were to look at our technology, which these tech trees are massive, you'll look and see some of these, like shipbuilding, we have already researched as it is that dark brown color, and something like organized religion is more of a gold. And so those are the ones that we actually have to research. I'm actually going to go ahead and click on this now, get guilds. But these, the ones in brown, are what everybody across the whole world can research. The ones in purple are the unique ones. So for us playing as Sukhothai, there's Breaker of Chains. This technology is unique to Sukhothai, which means we will always get a +1 diplomatic reputation. Buddhist syncretism. This is because we are Theravada Buddhist and we are Thai. So there are things, technologies, and advancements that only your culture, your religion, and your region can research versus someone else across the world. And some of the early game stuff that you need to do in EU5 for most countries is you kind of play tall a little bit. So that means just building things, focusing on your population, trying to help them out, start making a bit more money, and as you waiting for your parliament to essentially happen. However, in our case, we can fabricate a claim and create a casus belli against Mong Swa because they are of a different religion than us. So to jumpstart that, I'm going to start building a spy network over here. And once we hit 20, we can do the cleansing of heresy CB on these guys, and we won't suffer as much aggressive expansion. And funny enough, they actually declared me as a rival, and so did Hanthawadi. It's funny though, because I can't rival Mong Swa, but they can rival me. So now we got a new guy in charge. And he's essentially like almost the same thing as the father. Now I'm going to go ahead. There's not really anybody I want to get a Royal Mary. So I may end up marrying this lady here. So now that I've accumulated enough money, I began building a road over to my salt. This is a rural settlement. If we mouse over this little star right here, it means that it's a rural settlement. And this shows that we actually get more RGO production out of this province, a little bit more pop growth, and some more food production. In contrast, Sukhothai is a full-fledged city. This is going to give us more nobles, clerics, burghers, laborers, soldiers, support more buildings, increase the population promotion speed, give us more control, more population overall, and hold more food, but it's going to consume more food. And it's going to be harder for anybody to core province as well too, and also buildings are a lot faster to grow here. And so because it's a city, your RGO output actually goes down because it no longer has the benefit of being a rural settlement. All right, now that I have nearly 100 ducats in my treasury, I'm going to go ahead and take a look at what some of my population needs are. Most of the people in this market need fruit, tea, wheat, lacquer, beer, beeswax, liquor, but it looks like fruit is the one that is most in need right now. So we are going to go ahead and focus on our fruit. If we go down here, look at our RGOs, we do actually have a fruit province right here. So because our market needs fruit, we're going to go ahead and build a fruit orchard here, and that should increase the amount of fruit that province is producing. Alternatively, I could increase the level of fruit production in this province. However, there may not be enough laborers. And in fact, it's showing me right here, available laborers in Thonyang. Currently available, none. And that's because they're all busy building that one new building that I need. And I still have 60 ducats I could spend. That only cost, about roughly 30 ducats. So we're going to look over here. Another thing that was on there was beer, and we are going to go ahead and build a farming village over here. No, not farming, market village over here. Because we're going to be able to produce beer out of this province, which does have sturdy grains actually in this province. We're going to gain an extra 0.69 ducats out of there. And of course, if we increase control out of these provinces, we'll make even more money. And because we have been building things the way that we want them to be built and asserting our control, building a couple things here and there for maximizing our RGOs and all that stuff, and also eliminating a lot of our tax deficit, because now all of a sudden we own 25% crown power. We're not an embezzler or anything like that. Our tax base went up from 25 to 38 in a matter of even just 1 year. So now we are making 9 ducats every month, which I know is not like a huge increase. It's like a 2.5 ducat increase. That is actually quite substantial in the early game here. Obviously, it could be larger, and it will be larger, but for a 1 year turnaround, that's pretty good. All right, now looking at some of the other areas that we have high control in, this one actually has 100% control. We produce rice over here, which obviously not a high not a high value good, but it is still very important. And the fact that it has nearly 15,000 people here, and we should be collecting actually quite a bit of tax out of this province, makes it, at least for me, pretty enticing to go ahead and start building things here. So I'm actually going to go ahead and build a windmill here. That's going to increase our rice output, which is fantastic because, again, it's a province that actually produces rice. Now, thanks to my royal marriage and also me just simply improving relations with Pinya, I could go ahead and actually ally these guys. It's fantastic because these guys are deceptively strong. Finally, thanks to this banner popping up, we could go ahead and call a parliament. We're going to call that in Sukhothai. And I believe we are going to focus on expanding gravel road networks to make things a little bit cheaper. In terms of building roads, we do have a 47% chance of it working, or 58% chance. And now that I am in parliament, I'm going to go ahead and ask these guys, be like, hey, can we fabricate a casus belli on, I don't know, lava over here for Ayutthaya? And that does mean all of a sudden now we don't have as much support from our estates to pass the expanding of the gravel road network, but that's okay. I'm mainly interested in just simply fabricating a casus belli. Now, lava over here does not have any allies. Now, if we look over here, you see they have the one subject, this guy, who they are actually in the process of annexing. I also annexed my guy. But, we should be able to just kind of beat them up. I mean, the game's telling us we are way stronger than them. Now, interestingly enough, I've never seen this happen, but Ayutthaya has formed because Lavo annexed this country, and I'm assuming that they were good friends with this other nation over here. Literally never seen that before. Do I not have a war goal? I have claim throne on them. I mean, yeah, why not? So the way that war kind of works in here, you're going to raise all your levies like in CK3. I like to click on this so it automatically raises them. They're all going to come out of your major cities. So anything that has a high population, guess what? Your army's going to pop up out of nowhere. We need to merge these guys together, and we're going to put a general in charge. Now, one thing you're going to notice as this army marches is they take, for one, attrition. As they move, they lose morale. And there's a little green apple there signifying that, that they have a food supply and food capacity all of a sudden. Ooh, I got some good people I could choose. Yeah, we're going to choose this guy. That general seems good. And, we are going to march all the way down here to Ayutthaya. But, we're going to lose some morale doing so, marching there. So if we get caught in a battle, may not be the best thing for us. Oh, hi, Diviet. And luckily for us, this town, or city, actually does, or it is a town, doesn't have walls. So we're going to be able to take this right away. And actually be able to occupy some of the nearby provinces as well. Because the siege mechanics work very similar to Imperator Rome, where you take a major town and the neighboring provinces get taken over. I also don't, or I guess here's Ayutthaya's army, all 4,000 of them. Yeah, here we go. We're going to start occupying that province there. We now own their capital, which is the war goal, which is fantastic. I guess I really just have to beat up their army at this point. And see, they just took Tenasserim over here. They're going to occupy everything in that area. We are going to go ahead and march right into their army. Our morale is not fully up. That is a risk I'm willing to take, and that was a really easy battle. I don't think they were... Oh, never mind. I fought a smaller army. So here we go. We're actually going to be fighting these guys. We straight up outnumber them. There's a whole tactics and flank aspect to this game, but I'm not worried about it right now because we have levies, and levies aren't exactly known for being the best at fighting. So numerical advantage right now is the best advantage that we could have. And Ayutthaya just surrendered to us. So now if we look at our peace deal, can I just straight up annex you instead of having a PUU? Why would you not accept? One more reason. So let me just wait a month and I'll no longer be at war with you and I'll just full annex your country. Oh, and now Lana joined the war. Okay, Lana. And I mean, Lana only has 2,800 troops. Why are you in this war, dude? Why? And in fact, there's your army. Can I beat you? I could easily beat you up even though my guys don't have good morale. Let's do it. That's freaking done. Look at that. That was easy. Now we're going straight to Chiang Mai. Well, actually, after I beat up this army. And then we'll go up to Chiang Mai. And there's no fort here. I actually have a castle on my capital. That's why you see this little palace right here. That's my castle in that province. Oh, Chiang Mai, or Lana. You done goofed. You done goofed. And here we go. We're going to fight him. I feel like my subject could probably beat him up at this point. Oh, no, Lana. So, Lana, buddy, boy, separate sue for peace. You're not allied to anybody I really care about. What if I just take money? Just give me a little bit of money just to get out of here. That's fine. We'll just come back because I don't want to take that much antagonism with these guys, especially because we are going to be taking a lot just by full annexing Ayutthaya, who really needs to be just done with this war, dog. So again, while we're just kind of sitting here waiting for this war to be over because Ayutthaya is throwing a bit of a hissy fit, we are going to go ahead and just keep on building stuff. So in this province, I've already built a sawmill. So we do have quite a few laborers actually living here. Some of them are working there. I'm going to go ahead and actually start building a charcoal kiln over here. That's going to give us access to charcoal as a resource. And it's also going to start using some of our lumber. So, of course, it's going to do two things for us. We're going to start actually using the lumber on the market, which domestically is right here. So we're not buying the goods, but we're just pretty much making pure profit as we're just selling charcoal to everybody else because everybody likes to grill. And officially in 1342, we are in the age of the Renaissance, which means the institution spawned over in Europe. We now have access to new technologies. But more importantly, we could choose any one of these three focuses. So the game is broken up into 6 different ages. If I can move this. Age of Traditions, which is what we start in. Renaissance, Discovery, Reformation, Absolutism, and Revolutions. So at the start of each one of these ages, you could focus on either one of these things. You have administrative focus, which of course is more of an economic geared thing. Diplomatic, of course, handling your estates within your empire and also the nations surrounding your empire. And military, well, military is pretty straightforward here. I'm actually going to be going with administrative focus here. You know, I waited this entire time to go ahead and enforce this peace deal. I didn't realize it was 29% over the peace deal. So now what I have to do is clear my demand. We're going to force them on our union, and we devastated their entire country just because I thought I'd be able to full annex them. That's all right. So essentially the plan right now is we're going to be building up our spy network on Mong Swa, hopefully being able to take them out very, very soon. But yeah, we're just going to be using our 11 ducats a month that we are getting to just go ahead and start developing our country. Hopefully be able to start building up more military buildings. I currently have a sergeantry, which actually gives me access to having like professional troops, though not much. I'll take them. One thing that's pretty cool about this game too is if you go to the control map mode, you can actually click on a nation like Hathawadi and look at their country and just laugh at them because their entire country's so decentralized that I'm amazed that they'd even be making any money. In fact, apparently their tax base is at 62 out of 1.4 million people. We have 41 out of 521,000. So by that logic, if we reached 1 million, we'd be, almost up to like 80 base tax. And these guys are still going to be clawing at the dirt, wishing that they had that money. What is Chimera? Chimera is horrible. Oh my God. Why are you so bad? Why is your control garbage, dude? And the air tax is high. It's 114. What's my allies? This guy, this guy's doing good. Pena, doing fantastic, man. Like, look at my country, too. Like, we're doing good. What's Ayuthya's? Oh, my God, Ayutthaya. Why are you so bad, dude? Now comes the fun one. Let's look at Yuan. Oh. Ooh, okay. So this is another thing about EU5 that's very much different, is that there are diseases in this game. In EU4, you used to have just events that would happen. Be like, oh, yeah, typhus here, or, red plague over here. No, in here, because you have population, your population's actually affected by this. And typhus just broke out over here in Sariang. Oh, no. All right, and the only way to really deal with this is building disease-resistant buildings. Oh, thank goodness. Oh, one of my places just became a town. Ooh. Oh, this one. Okay. Yeah, this one's now a town. Okay, cool. So yeah, a town now will give me more nobles, clerics, burghers, laborers, soldiers, more buildings, more control, more pop cap, more food capacity, but it does use up some food. So it's actually pretty cool that that actually became a town. All of a sudden now that little village is starting to become a place of importance. I remember when I said that typhus thing, once it gets to Sukhothai, might become a problem? Yeah. Oh, no. It's an area I don't even know about yet. Oh, thank goodness. Thank goodness. Yeah, I don't know where it is. Hopefully it stays over here somewhere. I'm going to just build my hospitals and hope for the best. That's all I can do. So because this place became a town, now we have access to both laborers and burghers. Burghers produce the more profitable buildings out of everyone in the game. Thank you, merchants. And so this province actually produces cotton. So I'm going to build a spinners guild here. It's going to use the cotton in the area to go ahead and make some of the, cloth. All that stuff that's over here. I believe that's cloth. And we're going to use that afterwards to build a tailor's guild, which will make it even cheaper because then all of a sudden it's in the market nearby. And this should make our tailor's guild even more profitable. And this time smallpox actually started in my place of my salt. Why are there so many? Oh my God, what is that? Is that smallpox? Oh my God, that's all smallpox. That's horrible. Look at that. How many people? It's claimed over 1.7 million lives. Oh my God, dude. And here we go. Yeah, locations depopulating. Darn it. No. Oh, this is going to be so bad. Sukhothai is about to get decimated, dude. Maybe not. No, oh, it's getting even worse. It's spreading everywhere. Oh, no. No. Hurry up with the hospital, please. Hurry up. Look at how many people just died in fray. Look at it. Maybe we stabilized. Maybe we just stabilized. Please tell me we did. Or it looks like disease itself. There's no more disease in the area. Oh my God. That was horrible, dude. The fact that that went down so fast too. Finally, I have a cleansing a heresy CB on Mong Swal over here, so they don't even stand a chance, dude. We could have up to 11,000 levies. All right, let's do it. We're not going to lose stability with this one. We're just going to gain karma. We're going to gain karma for cleansing heresy. I don't know if a lot of Buddhist people would agree with that, but we're gaining karma on this one, guys. So Mong Sua wasn't allied to anybody, but Vientiane over here decided, hey, let's get involved. Because why not, right? To be honest with you, I really don't care. I'm just going to take money from these guys, but I really don't have any interest in doing anything to them. At least I don't think I do. Yeah, there's no point in me doing anything to these guys. So just money it is. I love that Vientiane got like involved into this. They didn't conscript anybody except for like one single troop. Their tax base is horrible. And I feel like this poor country right here, I feel like probably has potential, but it's just like they're next to Khmer, and Khmer's the big boy down here. So I don't ever see these guys doing well. But if you guys want to see me try them, I'll gladly will. If you guys want to see me try any nation, let me know, please. Because we're going to be playing a lot of EU5. Okay, so that war was obviously very, very easy for me. So I'm going to be able to take almost all of Mong Swa. I could actually full annex them. I don't really have any desire to. But I'm also going to be taking Vientiane's main state. Because Mong Swa actually owns also that. And I just want to clean up those borders a bit along with some money. And because we now own pretty much all of Mong Swa, we now have 730,000 people living in our country. Well, that's one way to make up for a lot of people that we just lost due to disease. And speaking of disease, the Black Death is officially working its way through the Sukhothai horde over the Great Yuan. It's pretty awesome watching that, you know, even in 10 years really into the game, you start seeing the foundations of what is essentially EU4 in 1444, the Sultanate of Delhi collapsing almost down to its exact size in EU4, Bengal working its way into becoming what it would be, Bahmanes, Vijayanagar, all doing the same thing over here, Brunei's even appearing over here, Pahang's having a good game. Normally they're super small over here, Aceh's over here, the Manchurian peoples are all starting to kind of appear over here as well too. I mean, we see Gorin over here. I don't think that there's really any others. I mean, they're all popping out of Yuan. So we're even watching the rise of the Sukhothai horde or Khanate over here. And when you guys establish yourself as a personal union partner, a lot of the times I was like looking all the way up at the top here. And I was like, man, how do I interact with my boy Ayutthaya? I forgot that there's 3 buttons right here that are all right above these map modes. All of these have to do with some sort of relationship that you have. So there's like the International Organization of Langkawi, essentially all these Buddhist countries. Other ones like here's my defensive league with Khmer, and then there is of course my union with Ayutthaya. And here's where you want to go to those union policies, and then this is where you find out that whole centralization thing. And I got 4 more years to go before I can codify my inheritance law with these guys. Oh, you know, our population's going down again. Oh, why? Oh, because smallpox is back. Thanks, China. And it looks like the plague is making its way over here. How many people? Oh my god, 51 million people are gone. 51 million people. It's almost like the population of China. Look at it. There's 86 million people living here. Remember, at one point, Delhi had 40 million people living in their country. Granted, they fragmented, but like now with the plague, dude, like, and all the people around here, I don't even think it would equal out to 40 million people. That's terrifying. Also, this guy really went down in population. I remember he was up almost near 1.6 million. They're now down to 1.27 million. And we're getting close. We're at 730,000. Granted, it may drop down to 700,000. And Khmer really hasn't gone up that much. Yeah, I literally just lost 30,000 people in the span of 1 month. Oh my god, dude. So, cool thing about your defensive leagues, you can actually pass laws within them for anybody that is in here. So, right now, mutual defense, which is the main law in the defensive league, is possible defense. So, they may or may not join. Khmer wants to make it automatic defense, which means that anybody will always join. You know what? I am A-okay with that. One thing that's always sad to watch is my base tax go completely down, and it's always in correlation with my population going down. So us losing 30,000 people really just, I mean, it nuked our economy quite a bit. I mean, luckily it's going back up, but man, that really took a toll on us. So it's finally been 10 years of being in a PU with my boy Ayutthaya. So now what I need to do is start passing some of these laws. So it says certain laws of the Sukhothai Ayutthaya Union have policies which intend to centralize its many realms into a single political entity. While others support the protection of individual union member sovereignty, only the most powerful and diplomatically astute member of the union can take the role of senior partner and centralize the union. Right now, I have Union Foundation. If I were to go to federal status or maintain federal status here, this essentially makes it so then that way I could never integrate Ayutthaya. Now, I don't understand why I'm not able to do this one. In order to secure the stability of the union. Yep, this one says no valid policies. Each law has one or more policies to choose from. So I'm just assuming I'm just going to improve relations with them right now. And then maybe, just maybe, I could pass this. I understand. This is the current secession law, which means that they maintain their independence. I have to wait until I could do legislature of unions. So I have to wait 40 years, so 30 more years. So huge developments happening. My game started lagging, and I'm like, why is this happening? What is going on? The Yuan dynasty is officially collapsing in on itself. Korea is independent. The Manchurian tribes, they're all independent. There's actually no population over here now, or no unified state. And then, yeah, a lot of the little Mongol tribes are popping out. So, yeah, we're about to watch the absolute demise of the great Yuan dynasty. So, my apparent heir, who is my twin sister, died. So now I have my nephew, who is the next one in line. He's got much better stats than the previous two people that we've had. I really want my dude to be very good at administrating this country. That's something that we just have not had. That's going to help out with stability. That's going to help out with making things cheaper overall. It's going to make our crown, power actually go up even more. And I've been trying to do everything I can to get that crown power up. Obviously, I need to get the stability up as high as I possibly can, just so I can revoke some of these privileges. And then all of a sudden, we should be able to start getting some more crown power. Khmer wants to be my friend. Yeah, let's do it, my dude. Since that's the case, I'm going to leave this defensive league. There's no point in doing that, because I literally just wanted you to protect my army, or my country, really. Yep, here's the Ming Dynasty, everybody. Let's start improving relations with them, because I know how this is about to go. So our other guy just died. I'm not too saddened by it, because he wasn't the best. Obviously, we still got Ayutthaya, so I'm still very happy with that. Honestly, as long as I just maintain my union with these guys, I'm A-okay with it. Obviously, I want to integrate them. Yeah, this next one here, I actually need to, or want to, do this, because all of a sudden they'll be incorporated in my market. Yeah, I like the sound of that one. I want more money. Just when I think I get over one disease, finally get my population back pretty close to where it was at 730,000. We have a measles outbreak now, and it's probably going to decimate our population even more. Oh, game, why? Alright, we got another cleansing of heresy CB on Mong Swan. So we are just going to go ahead and, we're just going to end them in their subject Vientiane. I didn't realize that Vientiane is actually a subject to them, but so we're going to full annex them and probably most of Vientiane. I don't know if I'll take over the whole thing. We'll see. Alright, so out of this war, of course, super easy. We're going to end up full annexing Mong Swan, and then taking these two states away from Vientiane. I don't know if that means that they're going to be transferred to me, because they know, the one guy no longer exists. They are now my direct subject. Oh, that's kind of cool, actually. Don't worry, buddy. You are now part of a successful kingdom. I promise you are. Not the Hmong guy They're just gone, you know, but don't worry. I promise you're part of success now. All right, so 20 years into our union, we could finally get a unified treasury and cooperative investment. So this essentially means that they start giving us money. They're, you know, like it's bringing us closer to actually integrating our countries together. Right now, I'm doing what I would consider a mass industrialization project right now. I'm trying to designate a few of these places, locations, as areas I'm going to start upgrading into towns. Now I'm starting to build masons. I'm starting to build a ton of sawmills, glass guilds, all that stuff. So this one obviously is a town. This is one of my better locations in the entire game, actually providing me quite a bit of money. Now, China, despite it not being a town, it actually makes a little bit more than the town. So I want to invest into this place, especially because it has silk. And sure, the RGO stuff would technically go down, but I feel like overall, this place would just make me a lot more money. Now, some of the other places like Mysot, this does have gems. And again, the RGO output would technically go down if it got upgraded into a town, but it could support more of population, increase the production, overall like money and tax base in that little town. This one as well too. I mean, like you could see, like the ones with like the stars or like the largest areas and largest populations, those are going to be the ones that I invest the most into. Eventually, most of these places are going to have to be at least bare minimum towns. And really between these two, because they're both in that same state, one of these two are going to be a city. And I genuinely believe it's going to be Chainat. So major development here, we have my former ally of Pinya. I actually abandoned them for this. Invaded Hathawadi. These two are duking it out right now. Pinya is a freaking beast, though, I will say. I mean, they must have just lost a battle against Hathawadi, but they have nearly double attack space to everybody else. They're up to almost 200 right now. The only one closer is Khmer. Like, that's huge, dude. Meanwhile, like, Hathawadi and I are, like, the ones near each other right now. I'm up at, like, 80. Like, that's wild. No wonder Pinya is, like, when you're allied to somebody or you're bordering them, like you can see everything that they're building. Like no wonder Pinya is over here building like literally towns and cities over here. They just have too much money. Oh my god, dude. So Pinya was the big superpower over here for a little bit, at least economically. They lost their war against Hathawadi. I did not expect that at all. I just passed another law with my personal union partner Ayutthaya over here, meaning they can no longer have their own separate alliances, because they've been allied to Lana over here for quite some time, and it's been annoying. And to be honest with you, that's the only reason why I haven't invaded Lana. And now that that alliance is gone, and if anything I can now use Ayutthaya on these guys, I'm going to go ahead and do that, because I want to form Siam, man. I just want to form it. And these cities are huge from Lana, but you know what? And sure, we're going to take a lot of AE for this, but I am A-okay with that as long as we get to form Siam. Okay, so this is going to be our peace deal here. We're pretty much taking all the good parts of Lana, and we're going to be coming back for these other, like, 2 states later. We actually own half of Mong Sing over here. We don't own any of Chiang Rai. Actually, I probably could get the rest of Mong Sing just for less money. Yeah, we'll do that, and then we'll come back for Chiang Rai a little bit later. So, you know, in this game, I've been coalitioned a couple times. I've never had a coalition war against me. However, apparently everybody really wanted to duke it out with Hathawadi over here. Don't know why. But it's calling in my pal Khmer. I mean, I could attack them, actually. And Khmer would not join. But the issue is Hathawadi has so many troops. 13,000 troops. I can only bring about 10,000 troops. You know, maybe 12,000 if I start recruiting some regulars, which honestly I really should be, but I'm just so focused on economic development because I feel so far behind in terms of economy that that's my priority. All right, I'm thinking we are going to do this war against Hanthawadi. They have a little bit under 12,000 troops. I did just build some actual, troops. Granted, it's not a lot, but I have 300 professional troops out in the field now. And then that doesn't include all my subjects. And then, of course, my my actual army itself. So, yeah, I'm just going to go for it. We're going to do it. Khmer wouldn't join. Okay, so the game kind of screwed me a little bit here. Because Khmer decided to follow their obligations here. And now I have 25,000 Cambodian troops marching straight towards me. All I know right now is I got to get my guys out of here. We got to head over to Ayutthaya. And I'm assuming Khmer really wants to fight my guys right now. And they've lost at least 2,000 guys to attrition because they marched all the way from here. They're like so overextended right now. They're just losing people to attrition. I mean, I don't mind it if they just... literally, if they just want to starve themselves out here. I'm going to march my army actually all the way back up because I'm starting to lose guys to attrition now, even though I'm in my own lands. Alright, I'm actually in a bit of luck right here. Khmer, my old ally, will actually peace out of this war if I just give him 121 ducats. Originally, we were looking at where I was going to give up like all of this state to Khmer. But luckily, I could just give up some money and I could be on my merry way. Okay, so Hanthawadi is officially out of their war over here. They have equal numbers to me. Again, luckily, I have Ayutthaya who could just pull 15,000 troops just out of nowhere. I mean, now they're down to 9K guys. You know what? That's fine. Probably lost the majority of them to attrition. And here is Hanthawadi's army in my newly built fort of my Sut. Good luck on that one, buddy. Because this province it's going to be a pain. Alright, took us a full year to take down their capital. But we are going to go ahead and start marching over here to my Sut. And we should be able to win this. Yep, look at that. Numbers are looking good in our favor. It's peasant on peasant action. Everybody's gone. Alright, I'm liking this peace deal. We're going to be able to get these two states right here, break their alliance with Khmer, and we're also going to be taking 148 ducats. I love it. We're going to take a lot of, antagonism, but you know what? In order for us to take down our rival, we got to really just take away all their stuff. We can't have them being that strong. Did we get Pegu? Oh no, Pegu's literally on the other side of the river. I didn't realize that I thought we were going to get Pegu for a minute there. That would have been kind of cool. Finally, we could pass the final law with Ayutthaya, question of unification. So we're going to vote for the unification of crowns. And all of a sudden, we could go ahead and integrate these guys, right? Annexation, speed +1. So I'd imagine it's probably just like regular integration of subjects, which, speaking of integrating subjects, I am actually integrating these two now because I actually have a direct land connection for those two nations. So, yeah, half my country decided to revolt over here. About 350,000 of them. Because they didn't want to be my form of Buddhist. So, yeah, we gotta teach these Buddhists a lesson to follow our own sect of Buddhism by force. This is kind of interesting. I didn't realize it would work this way. But in a regular revolt here, it's not war score. Well, in this case, civil war. It's not about war score, but if you just simply occupy a province, it just automatically transfers over to you. So that's kind of cool. So that's just kind of how you end a civil war super fast. Alright, so we are going to go ahead and begin our annexation of Ayutthaya. So we are annexing all three of our subjects all at once, which is something that was very difficult to do in EU4. But obviously now in EU5, you don't have Diplo power, you just have Diplomats power. So as long as you have diplomats, you're gaining diplomats each and every single month. You could do whatever you want. In our case, I guess, because we're just balancing out here, we don't have to worry about it. Though I could, if I really wanted to, actually increase my diplomatic spending here. To be honest with you, I really don't feel like doing that. I don't have any plans on doing that right now, like doing any wars or anything. I have a lot of provinces I have to integrate. I mean, like, you look at the list here. We have a lot of these, and it takes a long time to integrate each province. And I just realized that one of them wasn't even being integrated right now because the guy died while doing it. And once these are integrated, all of a sudden we can start focusing on building more roads, which obviously I need money for. So then that way I can assert control, which then gets me more money. This is kind of messed up. I had another revolt here, this time with this straight line down the center of my country. I was building a lot of buildings here. So I'm curious to see how this works. Because obviously I just spent like, oh my god, hold on. Black Death? Oh yeah, it's in China. But anyways, I'm curious how this works because I spent like 200 ducats building up this town just a minute ago, like pre-planned building. So I obviously didn't get my money back, and now we have another revolt that came up. But luckily, it looks like that's going to be one of the last ones, at least for a little bit here. And in the middle of all this, we could call a parliament, because of course we can. And we'll go with the gravel network one because we're going to have to build a lot of roads to reassert control on everything. What is this, my boy Tongu over here? Oh, this is making me happy. Are they fighting an independence war? They are. Will they win? Probably not. Probably not. So this is an interesting little event here. So as Sukhothai and having a relationship with Ayutthaya, we could just swap over to Ayutthaya and annex all of Sukhothai. Sukhothai has more tradition. We just straight up annex Ayutthaya. But there's nothing wrong with our current situation. I'm going to go with this middle option here. Because it's kind of funny that there's this event. Because there's a similar one in EU4. But yeah, we're just going to go ahead and annex Ayutthaya. Boom. Bye, Ayutthaya. And now, hello, Siam. Oh, that's a beautiful blue. That's a wonderful blue right there. So there was an event that popped up over here, and I didn't really pay attention. I was like, oh yeah, this will probably give me like a religious war CB, or we just lose some stability. I didn't realize it just straight up means we're going to war against Cobra over here, which, by the way, that's like one of the best sounding country names I've heard in a long time. So now, not only are we in a religious war against Cobra, we're at war with Mongol, Mongku, and Mongnai. So Mongnai is over here. Mongku is over here. I don't know where the other guy is. I know Cobra's right here, which actually I technically needed some stuff from them. I think it was like one province. Yeah, like literally this one little area here. So at this point, I mean, do I just want to take them over? No, we'll just attack them and take over that one province. Alright guys, let's beat up on Cobra. Okay, so I'm looking at my cultures here. And one of the things I really need to do is get my Mon culture accepted here. Because they make over 29% of the overall population here. That's more than Lawa. That's more than even my Thai culture as well. So yeah, let's spend the 5 prestige. Make Mon tolerated. And if I spend another 5 prestige, well, it's an accepted culture. Which means that should eliminate, right, the Mon patriots that are trying to rise up, which is going to essentially destabilize and ruin my country. Let's give it like a month here. And apparently, if you really wanted to, you could spend legitimacy and stability and make it your primary culture. That's kind of cool. So the Red Turban Rebellion has officially ended in China. And we don't have Ming. Well, we do have Ming. They're fighting for their survival right now against Great Dongguan. And also the Great Yuan is here. Oh man, poor Yuan. And also Korea, it's starting to expand all the way over here in Manchuria. That doesn't surprise me. Our chancellor has reported that one of our heirs is an idiot. And we got another little civil war, unfortunately, to deal with here. However, you know, it's really not that bad. Also, our name just straight up changed to just straight up Siam. That's kind of interesting. We're no longer Kingdom of Siam. We are just Siam. Don't know what happened there to just change us to that, but hey, I like it. I could dig it. Don't know why our name changed, but then it came back to Kingdom of Siam, so we're back to being Kingdom of Siam. I'm also going to upgrade this town right here. I really haven't invested much into this town of Songkwei. However, the base tax over here is at 11. Almost as much as our capital. And we're making 3.66 ducats off of this one province. Actually more money than our own capital, which is wild. I'm going to go ahead and increase this into a town. Then that way it gives us a little bit more options in terms of production and the goods that are going to be produced here. Finally, after really what is like our longest era of peace right now, we have a ton of control in a variety of different areas, pretty much all along this river valley here. And because of that, and the types of buildings that we are building, our tax base is finally skyrocketed. Look at that. It was down here at one point, and I mean, for a long time, our tax base was stuck in the 80s, and all of a sudden, it just shot up, you know, to 136 tax base. And I have to accredit a lot of that to my advisors who are, for one, integrating provinces, and for two, increasing my control on all these provinces. Control is so important in this game. If you have no control over your provinces, you're not going to be making any money whatsoever. You also want to make sure that you're constantly building those roads and trying to get your proximity up as much as possible, because the further away a province is, the less control you have over it. So you can kind of remedy that by just simply building roads to that province or that location, or by building something like a temple. There's other buildings as well too that you can do, and of course you having high crown power will also help out a lot with most of that. Alright, I'm thinking that this is where we are going to call it for today. We are in the year 1420, so almost 100 years into the game. Kingdom of Siam. Our base tax keeps fluctuating from really high to 180 all the way back down to 142. You know what? At least we're in the hundreds. For the most part, the map is starting to look like what would be 1444 in EU4. We have a Bengal, Orissa. Bahmanas is still here, but they're pretty much done for. Vijayanagar is the thing. The Sultanate of Delhi, I'm very surprised that they last as long. China, yeah, we don't talk about China. And also Japan is going through its whole little warring states period. So, and I will be continuing this campaign as the Kingdom of Siam all the way into the end game. And I will see you guys in the next one. Chairman out.